It is time now for a rousing roundtable discussion. We've got Corey Dillon from Mix 100.7, Angelique Queen Bee McGuire from 95.7 The Beat, and Drew Garabo from 102.5 The Bone. They're all here to weigh in on these weighty topics. Welcome back.
No way.
Yeah, way.
Ready to go?
Yes.
All right, first up, a Manatee County mother says her child is being unfairly pressured into taking standardized tests. She said she's going to keep fighting until the Florida Standards Assessment Test is gone. Parents are allowed to opt out of the Florida Standards Assessment Test on behalf of their children. However, some of parents say school officials are intimidating them. If a student opts out, a report card and portfolio are used to determine whether the student should move on to 4th grade. Should they have the option of opting out?
Absolutely.
I agree.
It's so much stress on students to have this 2 days or 1 day, all day testing. It's just a lot of stress. If I was able to, I would have definitely let my daughter opt out.
But didn't we all do that? I mean, how are they supposed to progress? How are we supposed to measure
It doesn't mean it was a good idea then either.
Right. No, but until
you have
something
the whole
else.
year to learn and to accomplish what you, and I think that the information is retained longer if you don't cram for these standardized tests as opposed to learning it organically as you continue through the year.
Kids are just learning how to take tests, that's all. They're not retaining anything. They're just learning how to study for this test, take the test, and then forget everything that you learned.
Do you think this is a test of the teachers, or do you think this is a test of the students? Do you think this is the way that they say, well, you know what, if these kids don't do well, then these teachers aren't doing well, therefore you're not going to get money, and it goes down that path.
Yeah, that's how my experience has been with teachers in school, is that they're pressured to make sure that their students do well, and if they don't do well, it's a reflection on them, and that's passed down to the kids. They have anxiety. I mean, taking tests is one thing, but then cramming for a test, like you said, it's just too much pressure.
My sister never was able to get through these standardized tests successfully. She would literally have panic attacks. She would get ill. It was very stressful for her, but she was a good student. She loved to read. I think I mentioned earlier she read like 100 books a summer, but standardized tests was not her thing.
Do you think that a seed is planted and these kids are feeling undue pressure when really, if you, I mean, we all have tests in our lives throughout our whole lives.
College,
every day is a test.
Yeah, every day is a test, but shouldn't kids be able to take a test without freaking out?
They should.
I would think so. You would hope so. They say learning is fun. That standardized test is not fun.
They never were. They never were, but we all had to do them. I mean, you know, you have to progress. They have to have some measurement.
But you say just get rid of them.
You have to have some kind of measure.
I think the testing is fine. It's just that the pass or fail at the end of the year based on that test, which they do go back and look at your grades overall and other factors, but it's just that's implanted in your child's brain, and that's what causes the anxiety. So maybe take the pressure off a little bit.
Yes. Right.
Okay.
Here's a story out of New Zealand. Teenage girls at an Auckland high school have been told to lower their skirts to knee level so they don't distract male students and teachers. Around 40 students were told by the deputy principal that their skirts need to get longer. A move designed to keep girls safe, stop boys from getting ideas, and create a good work environment for male staff.
Oh, brother.
Debbie Tohill, executive director of Rape Crisis, said it was appropriate for schools to have dress codes, yes, but the instruction to lengthen skirts sent the message that the onus was on young women to stop male students and teachers from getting distracted. Totally agree here.
That's creepy that they even had to include the teachers in that. I mean, that's creepy.
How about you just have your dress code? This is how long your skirt has to be, period.
Right.
You don't have to say, because we're afraid you're going to distract the
They're going
boys.
to be distracted
Or
anyway,
your teachers.
Or your teachers.
That's creepy.
Remember the old Will Smith rap song, Parents Just Don't Understand? Where it said, you go to school to learn, or for a fashion show.
That's right.
We had a uniform. We went to a Catholic private school all my life. But even without the school dress code, my mother was not allowing our skirts to be above our knees. It just wasn't going to happen. You're going to school to learn something. You're not going to school to impress anybody, not even yourself. You're going to impress your teachers about what you learned.
Yeah, and having been a high school boy, they could go full length sleeves, full pants. We're still going to find a way to get distracted. If there's a curve or a bump in there somewhere, we will be distracted.
Great point.
It's unavoidable.
Well put.
Very well
Hopefully
put.
not a bump. I don't know why that really does.
Okay. All right. Well, earlier in the week, Bryan Adams joined Bruce Springsteen in canceling his concert in support of those in the LBGT community. The rocker took to Facebook to announce he would not be playing in Biloxi, Mississippi because of a Mississippi law that outlaws the punishment of people who discriminate against others based on sexual orientation. Bruce canceled because in North Carolina, a transgendered person will not be able to use a restroom for the gender they identify with. So will these cancellations make a difference, and is it fair to the fans?
Oh, absolutely.
You think it will?
Oh, yeah. Bruce Springsteen canceling?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's a lot of money in the local economy, and that's one of the leading touring artists ever in rock and roll history. I applaud Bruce.
But do you think
for
the
his decision.
government, do you think the officials there are going to care or do anything about it?
Absolutely, because once you start affecting a city's economy, when you hit them in the pocket, they're going to pay attention.
Money.
And
I don't know
if
how much
Bruce
a city
Springsteen
makes from a concert.
If Bruce Springsteen, that's just the beginning. He's doing that to make his voice be heard. But if conferences, expos, other groups coming to the city cancel for the same reason, that's going to affect money for the city.
Yep.
Well, I mean, because I remember Stevie Wonder said he won't be coming back to Florida as long as, you know, we don't embrace the Black Lives Matter movement or whatever, you know. And I haven't heard anything about it since. You know, does anyone care?
Now that PayPal pulled out of North Carolina and hopefully come to Tampa.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're right, if more companies follow suit and say we're not coming to your state, it will definitely.
I just haven't seen it work in the past. I mean, maybe it will work. I don't know.
Well, money talks, and as long as these states keep passing this discriminatory legislation that is biased towards people of different minority groups, then they will be held accountable for it. And I salute Mr. Adams and Mr. Springsteen.
Indeed.
All right.
Indeed. Not discriminating against anyone is not
Cuts
cool.
like a knife. That's
Coming up, would you want a reformed criminal in your neighborhood? We'll talk about that right after the break.
All over Tampa, they're talking about what's going on here in Wesley Chapel, Facilio Kia.
That's because this month, if you Facilio Kia purchase or lease any vehicle, new or pre-owned, a flat screen television, a laptop computer, plus a Blu-ray 3D
All three?
system, all three.
I'll tell you, Tampa, don't miss the opportunity. It's huge.
Keep at it. I'll be back.
Good night.
Period. -1. You got this.
Helping you connect to what matters most. Bright House Networks.
Where can I find new appliances?
JCPenney is 1.2 miles away.
No, I said appliances.
JCPenney is 1.2 miles.
Appliances.
JCPenney.
Appliances.
JCPenney is
Appliances.
JCPenney is.
It's true. JCPenney now sells appliances. Come find brands like GE, Samsung, and LG. And save up to 20% plus free delivery and basic installation on all appliance purchases over $299. Plus, get 24-month special financing. That's getting your pennies worth.
Hey, Tampa Bay Rays fans, when the Rays score 6 or more runs, you score with Papa John's. Get half off your entire online order the day after the Rays score 6 or more runs. Order at papajohns.com and use promo code RAYS6. That's right. Get half off all your favorites the day after the Rays score 6 or more runs when you order online at papajohns.com. Use promo code RAYS6. Papa John's and the Tampa Bay Rays teaming up to make this season better.
Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
I worked hard to get here, and I was ready.
Unconscious, assisted breathing.
Okay, get the crash cart ready, intubation kit.
Man. We train long hours every day. You got it.
It wasn't always easy.
Scalpel. Thank you.
But it changed my life.
Thank you, Concord.
Thank you, Concord.
Thank you, Concord.
Opportunity awaits at concord.edu.
Billy and Caroline, Facilio Kia, Wesley Chapel, and I want to talk to all you stinking, lousy, filthy, rotten credit people out there. Go online right now. Apply. I'm here the whole month myself. I'm going to make you huge.
Well, Welcome back to our roundtable discussion. We've got another one, a goodie to get into right now. A quarter century after she described being sexually harassed by Clarence Thomas during his Supreme Court nomination hearing, Anita Hill hopes HBO's new film about the controversy called Confirmation will become a cautionary tale for a new generation of women. So are women today, do you think, more willing to speak up than they were back when Anita Hill had to go and testify? Do you think?
I've been there,
I don't
and
know.
I wasn't, but
Yeah.
I got drug into something myself. You know what I mean? And you know, do they believe you in the end? You just have to say your piece and hope that it you know, all comes out in the wash. The truth will come out eventually.
Do you think
I mean,
women, though, are more apt to go to HR or
no?
their supervisors?
I mean, they encourage you to, but do they do anything in the end? Not really.
I'm hoping that what has maybe happened a little bit is that people in the workplace are more aware and less apt to make sexual innuendos and jokes, and because it's not welcomed and it is inappropriate.
In the workplace,
and nobody's trying to hear that. And why are you talking to me like that?
But they're still
so
doing
hopefully hopefully that whole situation started at least the
conversation.
seed of, like, I can't do that.
Right. Yeah.
I can't believe that men are still making sexual innuendos in the workplace. I'm
but I don't
shocked,
think
appalled, and
that
outraged.
people of our generation really are. I mean, I think you're either friends or you understand that relationship, or you know, you are coworkers and you know it's inappropriate. You know?
Sure, there's a fine line between welcome humor and inappropriate comments, and no one would ever go up to, I hope no one would ever go up to a young lady on her first day of the job and make inappropriate comments, but if there's a camaraderie between coworkers, sometimes things do get misinterpreted. I hope that women feel comfortable in the workplace addressing those issues, and I hope that Human Resources takes it seriously when it happens.
Well, but they're there to protect the business.
That is true.
That's, in the end, that's what they're there for.
Right.
Okay. All right, well, moving on, there are 2.2 million people in the United States prisons, and every year, some 650,000 are released. Mindful of that, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development issued new guidelines on Monday restricting landlords' ability to take into account criminal records when considering tenants for housing. No longer may a landlord simply deny housing to anyone with a conviction or arrest. So, under the HUD's new guidance, the landlord must consider the severity of the crime, the length of the time since it was committed, and must be able to prove through reliable evidence that the criminal history makes housing the person a risk to other tenants or landlords' property. So, is this fair to landlords and other tenants?
I think as long as you consider what the crime was, you should not be able to rent a place just because you have misdemeanor pot possession. On the other side of the coin, if you're a sex offender, then I think a landlord should be able to go, we don't really need you in this community.
No, I think it might be a little vague, though, I think, for landlords, because it's really hard for them to find out, well, what are the chances of this person committing a crime again? I mean,
and then,
it's like a
getting sued or something.
catch-22. It's rough because you, in theory, you definitely want people, once they do the time do the crime and serve their time, you want them to be a viable part of society.
Definitely.
But I don't necessarily want them living next to me. So
I would feel better about it if I knew there was more being done in jails and prisons right now to help people so that when they get out, they can integrate into society. And right now, I don't feel like not all of them are getting the help that they need to become great members of society. Some
they
do
deserve
great.
that opportunity.
They deserve that.
Absolutely.
But we have to do better in the prison systems, I think.
Yeah, but I don't know if you're going to reform any violent sexual offender.
No.
One, the other, or both.
Maybe not.
I don't think so.
No. Well, those ones in particular, I think you could probably make your case and just say no.
You would hope your landlord would. I mean, can you imagine if they didn't, and you don't know that they've moved this person into your community?
No,
I wouldn't be very happy about that.
No, but then you mentioned there are sites you can go to and you can find out who's got
yeah, apps. There's an app for that.
There's an app for that.
Every Halloween.
It'll freak you out though when you find out that 2/10 from your mile some creep is away. You know, you're
2
like,
blocks
oh my god,
away. I mean,
geez, not my neighborhood.
No. Well.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
On that note, we'll just stop it right now. Okay. We'll be back right after this.
That awkward silence.